watch a deer run, it barely touches the ground. It just is. It's almost like it's sort of floating, and even develops organs, what we call antlers, to even become more sensitive to its environment. Um, so deer is kind of at cold. Um, but to really sort of give you the gesture of the earth, water, air, and fire, the best way I can do it is by looking at the manures of animals. So as I said before, the earth pole is kind of the root part of the plant. So if I were to want to find a manure that works well for the growth of my root crops, what manure would you think that would really work from the animals?
Cow, yes.
Cow, yes, you're right. Cow's kind of sort of the
Universal
jack
donor.
of all trades, but it has its. I'm trying to separate it out a little bit. What animal loves roots? How about I go there?
Pig.
Pig.
So pig has designed to fulfill its gesture. It has massive. If you saw a skull of a pig, it's just a dense, dense bone right here on the nose. It's basically like a little plow, like a little shovel, and it'll go in the ground and root and eat. Loves the roots. So if I use pig manure, it's really good for my root crops because it holds that gesture. Um, so pig is down here. If I'm growing leaves in my growing leaves, cabbages, lettuce, cow manure is very good. So cow would be kind of the water. We just mentioned cow, but if you look at, we'll go out there in the paddies. Cow is just, if you were to kind of just look at it, you'll see there's the way it comes out is even layers and layers and layers and layers. It almost has a gesture of what we've talked about as where it's a watery pole. If I use cow manure, it's very very good for our leaf crops. And then we go to air, which is our flowers. Um, uh, it's kind of a gray area. There's more ways you can branch out here, but basically for flowers for real strong air quality, what manure would you say that really?
Bat.
What's that?
Heather.
Feathered? Yeah, that's getting there. That's kind of we'll get more to them.
Horsey.
Horse, yeah. So if you pick up a horse apple, it's very fibrous, it's very airy, it's very light, and it's very warming. It's a kind of a hot manure, and this one really works well. You could say goat kind of works also in that realm. Um, so I would go ahead and say horse for up here.
Where would sheep fall out in this whole?
Good question. So now we're getting to the herbs, which we're looking for oils, and we're looking for uh, um, helping the sulfur content in our herbs. That is sheep. And if you look at sheep manure, the little pebbles will have a really shiny coat of oil on the outside. Even their wool is. I just got a whole bunch of wool from my friend, and it's by the end of it, your hands are just nice and soft because they're all the lanolin in the oil. So they're very very much an animal that relates to the oil processing. So sheep would be our thing here. We're thinking of herbs. But if I'm growing something for feed, which is also in this poll, what manure would you think would be good for if I was growing a plant just for seed?
Chicken.
Chicken. Why? Because chicken loves seeds. That's what they eat. They love seeds. So if I use chicken manure, which is high in phosphorus, like we pointed to before, that is, you can also just put chicken here. And there's many animals that are in between this. We could move this here, put something here, and just kind of interchange them. But this sort of the archetype, sort of our sort of main go-tos. Um, so that pretty much kind of covers what I was really wanting to share with the different kingdoms. But the idea that I want to kind of give you is that, yeah, I'm putting this in a two-dimensional kind of way. But if you were to kind of be in the shoes of a creator, this is kind of something more you would see. So we went through all of these processes here that we showed, and there's these accesses here that we could just draw in real quick. That's the opposite of that. It's just the relationships that we can bring. That the way that I have learned to look at it is like we'll have our plant here. That's our plant wheel. our mineral wheel, this is our plant wheel, this is our animal, and so on and so on and so on. So what I have started to kind of understand is that if you're familiar with music, if I were to say this is a line here, and I look at here is the root, that I would say the mineral line or the root is just a higher octave of the line, at a different pitch though. So what I'm saying is that this is going through sort of a rotation, if you were to say, up to a plant, up to an animal. So these things have separated out of each other, so to speak. And with the preparations, what I am essentially starting to understand is that I'll have an organ of an animal, a certain flower of the plant,